Okay guys, so here we are in Microsoft Word, and here is a very cool feature that I'm going to show you. It's about the index feature in the references tab. Okay, the indexing feature. It's called marking entries, and it's to create a particular table of contents based on entries that we specify. Let me explain. When you have a book, and like a textbook for example, and you turn to the back of that book, often you will find what's called an index. And the index consists of words or phrases or terms that appear within the book. Without the book. How would they appear without the book? That's so weird. Like, oh, look, there's a term. It's floating in the sky. No. Okay, so at the back, let's get back to the back of the book. Back to the back of the book. Turn to the back of the book. There's an index. It contains words, phrases, terminology that appear in the book, and it shows you on which pages those terms appear. Okay, so that's the index. I mean, you can see this in any textbook that you might have. So how do they do that? I mean, you don't manually go and page through and look for everything and then go, oh, okay. No, we can actually make this pretty easy using Microsoft Word. Now let me show you. Here we have a document called The History of Computers, a brief timeline. It was an article written by this person, and it's actually a very good article. Now let's say I wanted to create an index consisting of all the company names in the article, all the companies, IBM, Apple, Microsoft, Compaq, Hewlett Packard, all of those. So I'm going to do this way. I'm going to use the references tab, mark entry. So let's start at the very beginning here. We go down a bit here. We're skipping through the 1800s. Nothing really there. And we can see, aha, Hewlett Packard, 1939, the good old days. I actually don't know. So I'm going to select Hewlett Packard. There it is there. Just selecting Hewlett Packard. References, I'm going to say mark entry. Now when I click on mark entry, it's going to bring up this little mark entry dialog box or options box here, and you can see it says index, main entry, Hewlett Packard. Perfect. I'm not going to give it a sub entry. I'm going to make it reference just the current page that it's on, so I can then in my index see all the pages where Hewlett Packard is mentioned. Everything else is fine. Okay, I can do one of the following, one of the two things. I can say mark this entry or mark all the entries. If I say mark, it's just going to mark. I'm going to close this so you can see. Okay, here you can see I've switched to my show and hide codes stuff view. Okay, and you can see it's got Hewlett Packard, and then I'm just going to zoom in a bit for you guys, and you can see in the special these little curly brackets, it's got XE, okay, which means mark entry. Okay, it just does, don't question me. Hewlett Packard, there it is. Right, if I switch that off, okay, Control Shift and the asterisk, okay, the number 8, Control Shift 8, good keyboard shortcut to remember. You can see obviously I don't see anything there. Okay, so if I switch that back on, there we go. So that is what it looks like when an entry has been marked. Alright, if you want to get rid of it, you have to right click on that, and I think you, oh no, you don't. You don't right click, you just literally just delete it. I thought I could right click and delete, but you can't this time. Just delete. Done. Okay, so let's start from the beginning again. We're going to mark Hewlett Packard. So switch that off for now. Zoom out a little bit there. Okay, Hewlett Packard, I'm going to select it first. That's where I begin. References, mark the entry. It already puts it in there for me, which is very, very handy. And instead of just marking one, I'm going to say, you know what, every time you see Hewlett Packard, make a note of that, please. So I don't have to manually go through every one. Mark all. That was pretty easy. Now, I don't have to close this because I can actually go and let's find another one here. I'm just going to... IBM. There's a good one. IBM, I know, is a computer company, so I'm going to click on IBM, all right, or highlight IBM. Now watch. If I just go to main entry, it still says Hewlett Packard. But if I just activate this box, it already then selects what I've selected, and I can then go, you know what, mark all IBM. That's pretty good. So let's see what else we have. We've got IBM. Unix. No, that's not a company so much. Intel's a company. click there, mark all. I just want to do Apple and Microsoft. So let's just go here. Apple, there we go. Apple, mark all. And let's see. Come on, Bill. Where are you, Bill? Bill Gates, Bill Gates, Bill Gates. I'm sure he's around. Oh, Microsoft. There it is there. Microsoft. Microsoft. Mark all. Close. I'm just going to stick with those ones for now. Okay, so I've gone and I've marked, or I've indexed all of these various phrases. And at the end of the article, I'm going to just scroll down to the bottom. Right, I'm going to put in a company names index. Let's switch off our things there. Company names index. And here you can see in my index group, I've got my option there, which is insert index. Insert index. So I'm going to click on insert index. And you'll notice it's kind of like doing a table of contents. All right, I've got a few options here. I can do 2 columns or one. I'm going to do 1 column so you can see it nicely laid out. I'm going to right align the page numbers. You can choose your leaders. What if you want to use a template? I mean, it's pretty easy actually. Now watch what happens when I go and I click OK. There they are, alphabetically organized. I was going to say alphabetized, which is obvious. Apple, Hewlett Packard, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, there they are, and those are all the pages that they appear on. And there you see is a very basic way of doing an index. It's super easy. It's just like a table of contents, but for phrases and terms that we mark up ourselves within the document. And there you go, guys. Mark the entries and then insert your index over there. And obviously then if you go and add some more to the list, you'll come back here, you'll right click and you'll say update field, and it'll update automatically with all the new ones that you've added in. So I'll give you guys an exercise to practice that now.